Okay, so it's 6:07 p.m. on August 7th. I thought I'd come on because I was on Twitter and I saw that William Friedkin died. Now, this is one of those guys. He was on Twitter. He had a Twitter account and he used to tweet all the time. I think it was him. I don't think it was somebody pretending to be him. And I used to really enjoy his tweets. And that's oddly what I think of instead of his movies. I would feel bad because I believe I exchanged a tweet or two with him over time, over all these years. It's been many years. But I felt bad because I couldn't count him as one of my favorite directors because I don't know what's going on in my hair, sorry. Because of subject matter, you know what I mean? Of his movies is not my favorite thing. Like The French Connection, obviously expertly made film, not my favorite kind of a movie. The Exorcist, like I said, arguably the best horror movie ever, but I'm not gonna call The Exorcist a favorite movie of mine. So, but obviously a great director. I always been saying for a long time I'm going to rewatch Sorcerer, which I still haven't done. I think I even took it out of the library once and then didn't have time. I'm a very scatterbrained person now, but Cruising is my favorite movie of his, and I'm sure I said that to him directly on Twitter. And I would feel bad because it was like he would tweet about, like, I don't know if it finally came out on Blu-ray or something, or if they had some kind of thing come out, and I could never say anything like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run out and buy it, because I never have money, you know, and especially in those years, you know. But my hair's distracting me. The thing about him, and I've seen him more. Like I didn't want to see Bug. I don't like bugs. I didn't want to see Bug. It looked gross. But I saw Killer Joe. I think I saw it in the theater. I'm not 100% sure. I know I saw it around the time it came out. I think I've seen most of his movies. To Live and Die in LA. This is the weird one. I rewatched that. I want to say not that long ago. Could have been last year. I suck at time now. But the weird thing about To Live and Die in LA is that I'm not sure that I watched it the first time. Like I was supposed to be rewatching it, and I'm like, did I confuse this with Manhunter? When I was a kid, I had MTV on all day, and at the time, To Live and Die in LA, the song from the movie by Wang Chung was a big hit. And so I saw the video for it a million times. So I guess I assumed I saw the movie. But if I did see it before when I just rewatched it, I don't remember it, but I don't think I did. But it was really good. And the thing about him, and I'm pretty sure there was a commentary on there. There was at least a lot of behind the scenes stuff. He's the kind of guy that I like because they love film too. You know, if you're a movie director, you should love movies. And when you talk about movies, you should explain yourself. And he was like an encyclopedia. And he had this amazing voice. That's the thing about listening to commentaries, listening to him talk. He had like this like DJ type voice, like the way DJs were in the old days. Had to have a cool, groovy sounding voice. So you just listen to him talk about movies, and it'd be really cool. And I did that a lot. And I think I saw that somebody posted the interview with him with Fritz Lang. I watched that not that long ago, so I think it was on M. I think I just saw something where he said it was on M, where he did the interview with Fritz Lang. Fritz Lang was one of my favorite directors. Yeah, so I've just seen clips here and there of him, you know. I'm fairly certain whatever version of Cruising I did see, I think there was a commentary on there too. So, and just him talking about movies in general, seeing him on, you know, things talking about cinema or other directors and stuff, or other movies. that's great. You know what I mean? So I guess at the point where I thought of myself as a film buff, which I'm not, because I'm not a completist, I'm not, but you know, I like a lot of movies, and I like to watch movies, and I prefer to watch movies in a theater. And so, but there was a point, like I said, I don't consider myself now anymore, because I don't watch everything. I'm more selective, and I watch what I think I'll like. But there was a point in time where I tried to watch all the stuff that was supposed to be good, or whatever somebody was talking about. If I hadn't seen it, I would try to go watch it. And but yeah, so for him to leave that, because he was still doing stuff, and he was still always talking about movies, and he's a big one. He's a big, huge guy, and like I said, he wasn't one of my favorite directors because his movies weren't, like I said, the subjects weren't stuff I would have been in love with. You know, he didn't do fantasy, he didn't do musicals, he didn't do, you know, what else? I'm trying to think of what else he did recently, but yeah, Cruising's my favorite. And the thing about Cruising is I had known I wasn't supposed to watch it. Like I said, I went to college at NYU. I was in the Village, and it was very much in the 90s. Early 90s, and it was very much, you know, you knew all the stuff that was supposed to be bad and anti-gay and stuff like that, and I heard that movie was a bad movie in terms of that sort of thing, so I never watched it. Eventually I did watch it, and I was like, this movie's great, you know, so I was like, I'm not listening to anybody anymore, but it caught a lot of heat and stuff like that at the time, because people thought it was anti-gay, it was or it was going to make gay people look bad or something. But give it a watch if you haven't watched it. I'm going to try to rewatch Sorcerer. This is somebody, I mean, obviously, I don't know that when I say if I made a movie, when I say that, I like these people. It's not that I think I could do what they do. It's not that I have a strong desire to, work in movies, but like somebody like him, I would have loved to have just, you know, listened to him talk, had a conversation with him, or just have him tell me things, because I wouldn't be able to talk with him, like I wouldn't be able to add anything to conversation. So a couple times when I was able to go to New York Film Festival or something like that, I have seen a couple of directors in real life do like a, not really Q&As, because it wasn't like attached to movie, but yeah, now I think about it, it would have been nice to have gone to one of those with him. But there's so much video. Like I was thinking I should rewatch, I should rewatch one of his movies tonight, find it on one of the streaming services. I'm like, no, just watch YouTube videos of him talking, you know. But also the other day, Pee Wee Herman passed away, and I don't like saying passed away, you know, because people die and they're not floating off with wings and stuff like that. I think it's a cushy way, because people don't like died, because it sounds final, which it is. But yeah, I love Pee Wee. This is another person I was following on Instagram, at least, and I used to, I mean, I wasn't a kid, but I watched Pee Wee's Playhouse what was it, on Saturday mornings, just like everything else. I watched it every weekend. I loved that show. When I did end up going to college, I had a roommate for a minute. I moved out of that room because they were crazy. But the one girl who was kind of rich, she had a cherry. She had her own little cherry in the corner. And I used to love saying Mekaleka Hi, Meka Ho, you know, and the word of the day, and scream. I would sit in my house and scream, you know, the word of the day. And that's, to this day, I still think of Lawrence Fishburne as Cowboy Curtis. Love Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Pee Wee's Big Top is, I watched it because Benicio was in it. It was fun. But yeah, again, here's another person who, when I think of them now, and on Instagram, and he would always put like cute little things. He had cute posts on Instagram, and I don't feel like he had stopped posting. But like wholesome stuff, you know. I feel like he was posting the last week or something like that, you know, the week before last or whatever. So it's just like, in a weird backwards way, I don't know them, you know, but they're like my Instagram friends or my Twitter friends. They're like people instead of just these huge icons, and they're both icons, and I really enjoyed their work, and I like both of them as people from what I could tell. Friedkin's a piece of work, and I that's the kind of person I like. You know, I was just seeing interviews of him. There was one where somebody asked him about Al Pacino, and but yeah, he's my kind of person. You know, straight shooters, right? I'm a straight shooter. People don't like it, but when I see another one, that's my kin. You know what I mean? Kindred spirits. So yeah. It's I used to do a video every time somebody big died, but you know, it's not, there's so much going on, and it's like I feel bad, but I also feel like a doofus when I do them, because I'm not a historian. I won't say all the right things and everything, but you know, it's when cool people leave, it just further strengthens my idea that the world is getting shittier and shittier. And yeah. But I'm gonna miss both of them, because like I said, I mean, I don't remember seeing Mr. Friedkin's, I don't know, my mouse messed up a little bit, Mr. Friedkin's tweets recently, so I don't know if he's been ill or if it was one of those things where sometimes I think I'm following people and it's gone, and I don't remember unfollowing them. But yeah, so, but like I said, these are people who, there's a lot of famous people. I mean, Elizabeth Taylor, when she passed away, she had a Twitter account, and Sir Roger Moore, she's Dame Elizabeth Taylor, you know, and Sir Roger Moore, and a lot of people, it's like, since Twitter's been around, it's like, or I was mostly on Twitter. I did Instagram like in the last so many years because there was actors that didn't have a Twitter. But so it's like, for all their great works and for all the fun you had at the movies with them or watching them on TV, whatever, you think of them as this you bro on Twitter, and that makes it even sadder. But yeah, so I'm going to try to watch something. Tonight I'm going to spend time watching the videos. I'm going to see if I can get myself to rewatch Sorcerer soon, like I was supposed to do all this time. I know I've seen it before, because when I went and tried to watch Wages of Fear, I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But yeah.